Hello and welcome to Speak and Listen English. I'm Emma, and I'm thrilled to be here with you today.
And I'm Jack. It's wonderful to connect with all our listeners who are on their English learning journey.
Absolutely, Jack. Today, we're diving into a topic that many learners struggle with silently, something we call breaking the perfection trap.
The perfection trap. That sounds familiar. I think I've been stuck in that trap more times than I can count.
Most of us have. You know that feeling when you're in a conversation, your brain freezes because you're searching for the absolutely perfect word or grammar structure, and by the time you find it, the moment has passed?
Oh, yes. I remember standing in a cafe in London once, trying to order a simple coffee. I spent so long mentally rehearsing, could I possibly have a medium latte with oat milk, that the barista had already moved on to the next customer. I just stood there, holding my wallet, completely frozen.
That's the perfection trap in action. And today we're going to talk about how to gently step out of it, not by lowering your standards, but by shifting your focus from perfect output to meaningful connection.
I love that distinction. So it's not about accepting mistakes carelessly, but about prioritizing communication first.
Exactly. Think of language like dancing. When you're learning a new dance, you don't master every single step perfectly before stepping onto the dance floor. You feel the rhythm, you move with the music, and you adjust as you go. Sometimes you step on your partner's toes, but you keep dancing.
That's such a beautiful analogy. But Emma, I have to ask, why is our brain so obsessed with being perfect? Why do we feel like a small grammar mistake is a huge disaster?
That's a deep question, Jack. It actually comes down to our biology. Our brains are wired for survival. Historically, being different or making a mistake in front of a group could lead to social exclusion. In the modern world, your brain treats a misplaced verb tense the same way it would treat a predator in the bushes.
So my brain thinks a present perfect error is a saber-toothed tiger?
Precisely. Your amygdala, the part of the brain that handles fear, kicks in. It shuts down the prefrontal cortex, which is the part responsible for language and logic. That's why you freeze. You aren't losing your English. Your brain is just trying to protect you from the danger of looking silly.
That explains so much. It's not that I've forgotten my vocabulary, it's that my security system has locked the doors to the vocabulary room. How do we unlock it?
By normalizing imperfection. Did you know that native English speakers make grammatical errors all the time in casual conversation? We say things like, me and my friend went shopping, instead of my friend and I. Or we use double negatives like, I don't need no help. Language is alive. It breathes and changes in real-time conversation.
That's so reassuring to hear. Many learners think native speakers always speak like textbook examples, but in reality, we're messy, creative, and sometimes grammatically incorrect too.
Absolutely. So, step 1, give yourself permission to be human. Your goal isn't to sound like a grammar book, it's to share your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. Even with imperfect grammar, you can build beautiful connections.
What's step 2? Because I think many listeners might still feel nervous about actually opening their mouths.
Great question. Step 2 is what I call micro conversations. Start incredibly small. Order your coffee in English, even if it's just coffee, please. Ask a shop assistant, where are the notebooks? Make one comment to a colleague, nice weather today. These tiny interactions build muscle memory for speaking without overwhelming pressure.
I love that approach. It's like weightlifting. You start with light weights to build strength before attempting heavy lifts. And speaking of building strength, what about vocabulary gaps? That's another big anxiety point for learners.
When you hit a vocabulary wall, become a word painter. Instead of freezing because you don't know frustrated, describe the feeling. I feel not happy because something is difficult and I cannot do it easily. Most people will understand you perfectly and might even offer the word you're searching for. Oh, you mean frustrated?
Word painter. I'm stealing that phrase.
It reframes the struggle as creativity rather than failure. Instead of, I don't know this word, it becomes, how can I paint this idea with the colors I already have?
Exactly. And let's talk about the 80-20 rule in language. 80% of communication is actually body language, tone of voice, and context. Only 20% is the actual words you use. If you smile, use your hands, and say, water, please, you have successfully communicated. You don't need a 10-word sentence to survive.
It's funny you say that. I've seen tourists get exactly what they need using only 3 words and a lot of pointing, while some advanced learners are still standing at the door trying to remember the subjunctive mood.
Exactly. Perfection is the enemy of progress. If you wait until you are 100% sure of a sentence, you will speak 0% of the time. But if you are okay with being 70% correct, you can speak 100% of the time.
That's a powerful shift in mindset. It's better to be 70% correct and have a conversation than to be 100% correct and stay silent in your room.
Precisely. Now let's talk about a game-changer technique, the 3-second rule. When you have something to say, give yourself just 3 seconds to start speaking. Don't wait to craft the perfect sentence. In those 3 seconds, just launch with your main idea. I think, or yesterday, or my opinion is.
3 seconds? That feels terrifying at first, but I can see how it would prevent overthinking. What if you make a mistake right after those 3 seconds?
Then you've done something amazing. You've communicated. And here's the secret most learners don't realize. Native English speakers rarely notice small grammar errors when they're engaged in conversation. They're focused on your message, not your verb tenses. If they do notice, they usually just understand what you meant and move on.
That's such a relief to hear. I think many learners imagine native speakers mentally correcting every mistake they make, when in reality, we're just happy someone is making the effort to speak our language.
Let's check our listener mailbag. We got a message from Maria in Brazil. She says, Emma and Jack, I feel confident when I'm alone, but as soon as I see a native speaker, I feel like a child. I'm an expert in my job, but in English, I feel unintelligent. How do I stop feeling like a child?
Wow, that hits home. That identity crisis is real. You are a smart, capable adult in your own language, but suddenly you're struggling with basic sentences in another language.
Maria, thank you for being so honest. First, acknowledge that learning a language is a feat of intelligence, not a lack of it. Being bilingual, even imperfectly, means your brain is more flexible than a monolingual brain. When you feel like a child, remember, a child is a learning machine. Children aren't embarrassed to fall down. They fall, they laugh, and they get back up.
And Maria, try this. Focus on your expertise. If you are an engineer, talk about engineering. Use the technical words you know. Your passion for your subject will often override your fear of the language. When we talk about things we love, we forget to be perfect.
That's a great tip. And speaking of effort, let's address the inner critic, that voice in your head that says your accent is too strong, or they'll think you're unintelligent. What if we renamed that voice? Instead of my critic, call it my overprotective friend who's trying to keep me safe from embarrassment.
I love that reframe. It transforms self-judgment into something almost endearing. Thanks for trying to protect me, overprotective friend, but I've got this.
Yes, and then gently thank that voice and speak anyway. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's speaking even when your hands are shaking slightly.
Beautifully said. Now, what about practice between conversations? Many learners study alone and wonder how to build speaking confidence without a partner.
2 powerful solo practices. First, shadowing. Play a short clip from an English podcast or show you enjoy. Pause after each sentence and repeat it out loud, matching the rhythm, emotion, and flow. Don't worry about meaning at first, just focus on the music of the language.
Shadowing helps with pronunciation in natural rhythm. What's the second practice?
Daily narration. While making breakfast, commuting, or walking your dog, describe what you're doing out loud in simple English. I'm pouring milk into my coffee. The sun is bright today. I see a red car passing by. This builds automaticity, training your brain to form English sentences without translation.
I've done this while cooking. At first it felt silly saying, "Now I am chopping onions," to an empty kitchen, but after 2 weeks, English started flowing more naturally in real conversations too.
It really works. And here is an extra tip for the brave, the character technique. Sometimes, if you're too shy to be yourself in English, pretend you're playing a character. Imagine you're a confident English-speaking news reporter or a character from a movie.
That's brilliant. It's like a mask. If the character makes a mistake, it's not your fault, it's the character's. It gives you that extra layer of psychological safety.
Exactly. Now let's talk about listening, because speaking and listening are dance partners. When you focus less on